Thank you for being here. Let's take in a deep breath of peace. And exhale, peace. Feel the shoulders dropping down. We're going to extend the arms up overhead. Nice work. And to one side, breathe out. Back to center, inhaling again, and to the opposite side, exhale. And so I invite you to consider every breath you take to be a breath of peace. Inhaling center and exhaling side. Breathing in peace, breathing out peace. And we're looking to maybe, just maybe, go a little further each time we go to the side if your body lets you. If your shoulders are giving you any kind of issue and you want to bring them down, go ahead and bring them down. But you'll still keep the spine lengthened as you move it side to side. You'll still be inhaling peace and exhaling peace. Because why not? And the next time center will stay center, we'll float those arms down and just roll the shoulders, moving peaceful energy to the nervous system, down the spine, all the way down the spine to the tailbone and beyond. Imagine that you're really getting grounded here. Roots coming out of your tailbone. Beautiful. In fact, if you wanted to, you could get that fleshy part of the buttocks out of the way and really press your sit bones down into your mat. And do get grounded. Get grounded in peace. And then from your groundedness, lengthen up through the spine, through the nervous system, all the way up from the crown chakra, connecting to the heavenly realm, shall we say. So the spine is lengthened. Good. And then just twist to one side. It doesn't matter what side. Drop the shoulders, so keep them down. Keep the heart up, open, lifted, and twist, twist, twist over that shoulder. Feel the lower back, the middle back, the upper back, and the neck. Every single solitary vertebrae twisting. Go right to your edge. Take a breath in. Stay on your edge. Breathe out the tightness at your edge and see if maybe you could twist a little bit more. Stay there, please. Another breath in. Breathing out whatever tensions you're noticing and perhaps twisting more and more. With every peaceful exhale, twist a little more. And we'll try the same thing on the other side. The shoulders are down, the heart is up. Take your chin as far over the shoulder as you can. Take the chin as far over your relaxed shoulder as you can. Stay with it. Breath in. Breathing out the tightness. Twist. Perfect. And back to center. And while we're here, we'll just take a little stroll. A joyful little stroll, opening up those hips, lower back. Relax your knees as much as you can, and if sitting cross-legged winds up causing you discomfort, then just, reposition how your legs are. You don't have to sit cross-legged. You could have 2 straight legs out, 2 straight legs in, right? Listen to your body, please. Using that breath, finding your edge, releasing the tightness wherever you're noticing it, liberating yourself from that stress, from that stuff, from everything that is not peace. And we'll bring ourselves up from there. Nice. And then come on to all fours. Let's get into some cat-cow. Let's get some movement going. Breathing out your cat pose, breathing in your cow pose. Move as much of the spine as you can. Include your pelvis. Include your neck, your chin. Press it to the chest. Include your internal organs and your stomach muscles. Hug those stomach muscles up, up, up to the internal organs. Pull them up. Yes, good. Dropping down, creating space between those internal organs. Excellent for detoxification, for stimulation, a massage for these busy, busy organs that work even as we rest. Very nice. Next time in cat pose, we're gonna hold it, roll those toes under, and play around with that down dog. Move those hips, bend those knees, get that lower back energized. Very nice. Bend the toes. I like to do this where my toes get bent back. It's a great stretch for the bottoms of the feet. See, my knees aren't touching. But if you want to, just to roll the toes under might be enough of a stretch. But after they get pretty flexible, of course, you have to add a little more to it, a little more body weight. But anyway, we're gonna come and hold downward facing dog. Press those heels down, tuck the chin. Everything from your heels to your fingertips in the back of the body is opening. But the thighs are active, the abdominal muscles are active. The front of your shoulders are active. I'm gonna take one leg up and just hold it up while the other heel drops down. Go ahead and hold it up a little higher, reach it, stretch it. Bend that knee, lift the knee even more. And then just float this leg down, let that foot rest near the other one, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Get that leg up, stretch it up, reach it up, breathing. And then bend the knee and lift the knee, get a deeper stretch. Feel the hips opening a little bit more. Very nice, and we'll return to all fours. Take one arm out and the opposite leg back. Draw the abdomen up. Lengthen your spine, your neck, your arm, your leg. Get a little longer. Beautiful. Bring all that down and switch sides. Really long. Almost like you're reaching out here for something that you want there, but yet you got to keep your toe touching something back there. And then your strong core gets very much involved here. Sweet. Lower all that down. Come into a child's pose and move around in your child's pose. If you like, you don't have to. That's my favorite. I have lots of favorites when it comes to yoga. Anyway, we're coming on to the stomach. Sphinx pose, if you will. Lifting the heart. Reach your toes back. Reach the tailbone back. Lift the heart. Smile. Put a smile on your face. Make the world a better place. Open up. Smile. Because we're breathing in peace and we're breathing out peace. What's not to be happy about? And we'll roll those toes under. Come to a low plank. Contract the buttocks, strengthen the core. Tuck the tailbone under a little bit. Tighten up those stomach muscles. And onto the knees, back to child's pose. Great work. And we're going to return to downward facing dog. So, get a good distance between your hands and your feet. A not good distance between your hands and feet would be if your knees are bent and your heels are touching the ground. Okay, this is not exactly down dog. We want for the heels to be off of the mat a tiny little bit. Take your tailbone up higher. Good, let's work with the right leg. Take the right leg up to the ceiling, breathing in, and bring this foot between the hands, breathing out. Stay on your high lunge though. Don't flatten out that back foot just yet. We're going to take a spinal twist. So turn towards your bent knee. Got your right leg that's bent. You're twisting to your right. And that back leg is very straight, very strong, very energized. And although the hips are dropping down so that you can get a stretch in the top of that thigh, the ribs and the arm are reaching up. Equal energy that the hips drop, or press I should say, and lift and stretch and reach. Good. Bring this hand down. High plank breathing in. Low plank breathing out. Cobra on your inhale, or upward facing dog if you prefer. Down dog. Left leg's going up now. Stretch it, reach it, get a big opening there. On your exhale, bring this foot forward. Get it right there between the hands. Fix my wardrobe. Drop your hips, drop them. But that back leg is straight. We're not dropping lazily and just hanging out down here. However, you can rest that back knee on the floor if that's better for your body. By all means, do it. And then twisting over the bent leg in the direction of the bent knee. The hips go down to get a deeper stretch. Press through that back strong leg and lift and stretch upward as well. So every direction we got stuff going on. Very nice. Bring this hand down. High plank on your inhale. Your hands are shoulder width apart. Low plank on your exhale. Your elbows direct back. Not out to the sides, but into the body. Cobra. And we're coming back to down dog. So let's walk or jump those feet up to where the hands are. And then stay here. We're going to come into a chair pose. And a low down chair pose. Watch the lower back, okay? Use your stomach. Tuck the hips under. Come into your low chair pose. But if low isn't good for you and you're better up here, then be up there, okay? So listen to your body. Very nice. We can take those arms and extend them, but don't let the lower back, don't lose it, right? Like that. Gazing up at those fingertips, tailbones tucked under. Oh yeah, you should feel those thighs getting a little warm right now. We'll inhale up and just bring those arms down. Nice. So speaking of the thighs, let's do a dancer pose. You can stretch those out. Holding on to something. If you have a wall nearby and you want to hold on to it, or you want to grab a chair, or if you're doing yoga with somebody, you could grab hold of them. Whatever you like. Oh yes, but we're breathing, we're opening the hip flexors. Lengthen both arms. Breathing, breathing. Dancer pose. Life is a dance, isn't it? Switch sides. In yoga, it's a dance between the breath and the movement. The breath leads the way in yoga and in life. Find your dancer pose. We're going to go back to the other side. We're going to do this 2, maybe 3 times. See how we feel after the second one. Coming back up. Good. And switching sides again. So now I want you to get out of your comfort zone. Of course, right? I'm always saying get out of your comfort zone in yoga and in life. I'll turn this way. So yeah, get out of your comfort zone. Make this a tiny little bit different than the way you did it last time. So maybe that means coming down farther. Maybe that means lifting this back leg up higher. Maybe it means reaching out forward more and more. Sweet. And we'll try it with the other leg. And again, just going a little bit more, pushing our boundaries a little bit more. It's good for the brain, it's good for the body, it's a great way to live life. Pushing our boundaries a little bit more does not mean pain. No, no, no. Does not mean creating any kind of an injury. There's a fine line between a challenge and an injury. And only you can know where that is for yourself. Great. And yeah, I want to do it 3 times. Won't you join me? So again, a third way that you might decide to do dancer pose. And so we go, usually right to left. So your third time, maybe you'll switch and do the other arm to leg opposite. Or grab that foot with both hands, whatever you like. It's your choice. But do something different. Go ahead and do something different. Even if it causes you to be somewhat wobbly. Because as we know, even though we're wobbly, we still love ourselves. Breathing. Opening. Challenging, yet not injuring. Other side. Something a little different. Oh, that's beautiful. Sweet. Nice. So shake it all out. Take a nice wide stance, if you will. As wide of a stance as you can. And so here's an opportunity to bring your block along into your practice if you need to or want to. But the legs will be as wide as they need to be for you to touch down. So I find that a wider stance helps my hands get closer to the floor. And press the tailbone back. Good, pull the stomach up. Great, the hands are on the floor, but they're only lightly on the floor. So we're here, but if we lift up, nothing else changes, right? Hands are just lightly resting. And we'll take one more to the center. Inhale this arm up. And exhale it down and switch sides. Beautiful, do that again. Twisting, breathing. Remember, every breath is peaceful breathing. Stay focused on that peaceful breathing, because then if there's a part of your body, your hip, your back, your shoulder, or something that's feeling any type of angst, you could send that peaceful breath to that place in the body. If there's a thought that creeps into your head that happens to not be one that's congruent with peacefulness, you could send the peaceful breath to the brain. We're in charge of what we think, believe it or not. Take ownership and change the negative thoughts, if you happen to have any floating in at any point during your practice, during your day, during your life. You can change those negative thoughts to become positive ones. Okay, so stay center. Point your fingers to the wall behind you. Start walking it on back. Hey, and if at this point your head is really close to the floor, like mine will happen to be, bring your feet in a little closer so that you can really allow for the head to dangle, the neck to lengthen, the shoulders to drop. Stay here. Find the place in your body that's most tight. Find it. And as you exhale, release that tightness and see if you can crawl those fingers out a little bit more back there. The arms are straight. And again, the more you relax, the more flexible you will become, and therefore the closer your head will get to the floor. And if it starts touching, just reposition yourself. Bring those feet in even more. Remember to use your stomach muscles. Engage those a little bit. That will support your lower back. Don't let them just hang out there. Wonderful. And then we're going to come back center. Turn the heels in, toes out. Bring your feet a little closer together. But do keep the feet flat on the floor and come down as far as you can. Again, you might want to use your block and hold yourself, or you may not need that at all, and come into a full-on frog pose. Frog pose, fertility. Frog pose represents fertility, or the frog represents fertility. And so, what is it that you want to create for yourself today? Think about that. Giving life to your dreams, to your goals, to your visions. Drop the tailbone. I like to use the elbows, and I encourage you to use the elbows to press those knees out, really open the hips. I know this is challenging for some people, and if this is too difficult for you, come out of it completely by all means, or make a modification. You could take your block if you have it and put it a little bit under you, and even though my block is here, I'm not sitting on it, I'm just lightly resting my sit bones on it. I could knock it out and I don't have to drop down, right? So anyways, we are coming up on an inhale, on a peaceful, loving inhale. Come up. Very nice. Ah, cool. Okay, bring all those feet, everything together. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Get rid of all this stuff. Okay, so let's do a sun salutation or 2 or 3 or 20. No, we won't do 20. But do come to the front of your mat. Come on, get up there on the front of your mat. Inhale up, breath of peace. Exhale, coming down. Step or jump back into your high plank as you breathe in. Exhale to your low plank. Cobra on your inhale. Down dog breathing out. High plank breathing in. Low plank breathing out. Cobra. And down dog. And so let's go into child's pose for just a moment. Stay here in child's pose. Stay there in child's pose. And we're going to do that sun salutation again 2, maybe 3 times. Only this time, like I was talking about how life is a dance and yoga is a dance and the breath and the body dance together. They're harmonizing. They're creating that beautiful movement together. So we're gonna be sure, very focused, so think about this as you're going through your movements, that the breath begins first. A little bit of the breath starts, and then the body follows. So, let's come to high plank. Okay, just come to high plank right now. Thank you. Take a breath in. Start to exhale, and at the very beginning of your exhale, then begin your low plank. So the exhale begins first. Start your inhale, and then your cobra follows through. Start your exhale, and then the down dog happens. So inhale, high plank. Let the breath begin a millisecond first. Exhale low. Cobra. And down dog. And do that one more time. Let the breath be the leader to the movement. Beautiful. And we're going to hold down dog. Bring that right leg up, breathing in. Exhale that leg or that foot between the hands. We're going to flatten out the back foot now as we peel ourselves up into warrior one. Warrior one. Good. Drop the hips. That front knee is bent and it does not protrude past your toes. Take your hips and square them up with that front line of the mat. Take your shoulders and square them up with that front line of the mat. Stay here and breathe. Lift, open. You are a warrior. And you get to choose what it is you are a warrior for. So select that and be with that energy. Own it. Sweet. So we're going from warrior one directly into warrior three. So you're going to bring those hands behind the back, interlace the fingers. Maybe you'll straighten out those arms. And then just shift your body weight, however you got to do it, until you're balancing. And ultimately the leg, spine, straight line, and then parallel with the floor. But if you can't, then obviously, rest the toe. But still from the foot to the top of your head is a straight line. So we won't be like arched this way or hunched over this way. A nice straight line. Whatever angle you put your straight line on, well, that's up to you. And you're finding the angle that's challenging, but not painful. Comfortably uncomfortable. Wobbliness happens. Perfect. And we're going to bring this foot next to the other. Sweep the arms overhead, breathing in. Swan dive down as you exhale, but remember the exhale begins first. Just a little bit before the movement. High plank breathing in, but the inhale starts to happen first. Low plank. Cobra breathing in. Down dog breathing out. Left leg going up on an inhale. Between the hands on the exhale. Flatten out that back foot. And just bring yourself back on up into warrior on this side. And again, take those hips, line them up with the front line, same with the shoulders. And remember for what? You are a warrior. It's endless. Every day, every hour of every day, you could be a warrior for something else, something new, something different. Bringing those arms behind the back. Straightening out them if you can. And just, whatever you got to do to shift your body weight into that front leg. You might be able to just bring that back leg straight up from warrior one. Lengthening the spine, lengthening the leg, and lengthening your arms back there. Take this back foot next to the other. Bring the arms up overhead, breathing in. Swan dive down. Return to your high plank and stay there, please. Knowing that from your high plank, you could always rest your knees. From high plank, try not to take your butt up, okay? Keep it down, but resting your knees is fine. When your knees are resting, try not to take your butt up. Still a straight line from your knees to your shoulders. If you're not on your knees, you got a straight line from your feet to your shoulders. And a side plank. Breathe, open. using everything you have. Your ankles, your knees, your hips, your elbows, your shoulders. Lengthen your neck. Let's go to the opposite side, side plank. Just roll it on over. Remember that you can keep that knee on the ground. That's fine, but just don't drop the hip. We're still lifting up, lengthening up. Back to high plank and child's pose. Take a break here. Loosen up those hips. Excellent. Okay, so now we're going to work on getting oxygenated blood to the brain. That doesn't mean you're necessarily going to go into a headstand. And this is daring on my part because I'm not there to support you or to guide you, which is why I'm saying we're not going into a headstand unless it's part of your practice already. But grab your elbows like this. Grab them and place them on your mat. So now you've just set your elbows where they need to be. So keep your elbows where they exactly are right now, but just interlace your fingers like so. And then close them up and let everything rest on the floor. So if you did this again, your elbows would still be in that same exact spot as where you first placed them. So you might want to just check that. Okay? And then interlace those fingers and then just rest the back of your head into your palms. Make sure that you can feel your body weight going into your forearms, not your head. Okay, so we're just going to get some oxygenated blood to the brain. So your body weight is in the forearms. You could tuck your pinkies under the head just a little bit if you like. And then right here you might just stay and breathe. Or you might roll those toes under and straighten out those legs. But your body weight is in the forearms, not in the head. And you're just breathing oxygenated blood to the brain. And for some of us, we might be able to walk those feet in a little bit more. For some of us, we might get those feet up. But remember, you don't have to do that. And I'm not going to do that today because I don't want you to feel pressured. But if you do headstand and you want to go into headstand, go for it. But just know that your body weight's in your forearms no matter what. Breathing. 3 more breaths here. If you're working on your headstand, then you'll just bring the feet in, straight legs, until you're watching your toes get closer to your face, until your feet just float up off the floor, okay? You don't have to kick them up. And when you're done, we're coming into child's pose again, and we're gonna breathe into circulation all of that oxygenated blood. One more deep breath. And from here, we're just going to kneel straight up. Good work, good work. So you could practice that as much as you like. If you are making headstands, I may have said shoulder stand, I don't know. Well, oxygenated blood to the brain is what I like to call it because I feel like saying headstand could be threatening to some people or might create angst. We don't want to do that. But roll your toes under, put your hands on your sacrum. And just shift your body weight back a little bit. Tighten up that buttocks. Use all of your core muscles right here. Strengthening back body. Roll the toes under. And then you'll find out as you experiment just how far back you can lean. But the heart lifts. We're not collapsing back there. We're maintaining lifted chest, heart. And again, you know, if your hands make it to your heels, that's great, but we're not dropping back into the heels. We're coming up. And just over time, our flexibility may take us here. And maybe it never does, and that's okay. Either way, you're strengthening back body. Breathe. So yeah, like I was saying, to do the headstands, just work with straight legs and watching your toes get closer to your face. With your body weight on your forearms. They're the key components. Eventually the feet may float up, and maybe they never do. But if you kick them up, you're likely to flip over the other way, therefore causing injury or potentially causing injury. And that's what we don't want. Great. And back to child's pose. Take your feet to their tops. And this time in child's pose, let's reach back for the feet. So we're looking to open up the neck and the trapezius more. Great. Back strengthener, back stretch. So we're gonna do another back strengthener. Just lying on your stomach. Come to lie on your belly. Arms extended. And just pick one arm up. So from your toes to your fingertips, a nice long line. From your tailbone to the top of your head, a nice long line. Take one arm up and lower it down and switch. The other arm up and lower it down, switch. One leg up and lower it down, and the other leg up and lower it down. Now do one arm and opposite leg and lower it down. Other arm, opposite leg and lower it down. Both arms and lower them down, both legs and lower them down. And now maybe lifting all, but through that series you may have determined, oh wait, this other one is better for me. You're gonna be where it's best for you. If you're here with me, both arms up and both legs up, press your hip bones, tighten up the buttocks, lengthen this, everything. Your legs, your spine, your arms, your neck. Breathe. Back strengthener. And return to child's pose, back stretch. And we'll return to all fours. Roll those toes under, get your down dog. Let's take the right leg to the ceiling. All the way up. Go ahead, all the way up, a little bit more if you can. Stretch that leg and then bring it through between the hands. And we're gonna flatten out that back foot and straighten out that front leg for a triangle. Trikonasana. So, a lot of energy in those straight legs without tensing or locking the knees. A lot of energies in the arms without tensing, okay? So find that subtle difference between opening everything versus tensing everything. Lengthen the neck. Feel your feet pressing into your mat. Take the top of your head up a little bit more. Energy radiating, peaceful energy radiating out those fingers in opposite directions. And we're gonna bend that front knee and rest this forearm lightly upon it. Taking this arm up, so your right leg is forward. Take your left hip back. You might even want to take this hand and press it back. Take the left shoulder back. You can bring this hand, the right hand down to the ankle or to the floor if your body lets you do that. But this left hand, rest those knuckles on your lower back if you can. Work that shoulder back, work that hip back. Drop lower into your stance if you can. Now if that causes your knee to protrude past the toes, then just creep those toes out a little more. Right, we want to keep the knee lined up with the ankle. Very nice. And from here you might be able to go into bound angle. So I've shown you a lot of variations. You're selecting the one that is comfortably uncomfortable, not painful. Sweet, we're gonna bring those hands down to either side of that foot. High plank on your inhale. Low plank on your exhale. The breath begins a millisecond before the movement. Cobra. And down dog. And the left leg is going up. Stretch it up, reach it up, press it up. Get it up a little higher, let the hips open a little more. And on one of your peaceful exhales, this foot's coming between those hands. Flatten out that back foot and come on up into the lovely starburst that you are. Straight, everything straight. Arms, legs, spine, lengthened. Nice, bend that front knee. Rest this forearm just lightly on it. Try not to drop down into it. No, stay up, stay open. Remain the star that you are. Oh, I like that. I might put that on a t-shirt. Remain the star that you are. Okay, so maybe this hand goes down, but regardless, it's this hip, the top one that we're drawing back. This shoulder, the top one. So it's a very narrow, wobbly-ish type of a stance. If you're feeling wobbly, I wouldn't be surprised. Drop your center of gravity a little lower if you can. That will help. And then if you wanted to wind and come into a bound angle, that's up to you. but never does this knee go past those toes there, that front foot. And you could look down at that foot if you wanted, or look forward, or look upward, but we're still taking that top shoulder and that top hip and pressing them backward to the back wall. Breathe. Breathe peace. Spin it all the way back around, pivot on that back foot, high plank. Inhale begins a millisecond first. Low plank. And then we're gonna hold cobra, another back strengthener. Okay, but there's nothing locked up and jacked up about cobra. Bend the elbows, lift the heart. Toes, tailbone, reaching back, heart lifting up. You're smiling. Breathing peace to any part of the body or the mind that might not be having a peaceful experience right now. Make any modifications in your position, in your pose, and whatever modifications you might need to make in your brain, in your mind. Peace. 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 Very nice. And we'll come to all fours and hold a cat pose, please. Tuck the tailbone under, tuck the chin, stretch the spine. Separate those shoulder blades. And then drop the belly down and gaze up. From the pubic bone to the chin, open up. And then come to a flat back, not cat, not cow. We did this one arm, opposite leg, and now we're gonna reach for the foot while we're there. Lift the knee, lift the hip, lift the shoulder, and lift the chin. Now I'm saying all of that. Your body might be saying something differently, and we always listen to our bodies. Don't worry about what anybody else says or does. Float these limbs down and switch. Opposite arm to leg. And again, you could just stay right here if you wanted to. Or you could grab that foot. So I'm grabbing my left foot with my right hand, lifting knee, hip, shoulders, chin, heart, attitude. Lift it all. Lift yourself right here. Be lifted. We'll bring all of that down and return into child's pose once more. And again, if you like to move it, however you want to do it. It is the very first position we were all in. It's basically just a fetal position. And when you're ready, bring yourself up, and we're going to swing those legs around and take a forward bend. Take a forward bend. Take your time. There's nothing to be rushed here. So much is happening here. Obviously, all the physical stuff that we can see. But it's an awesome time to check in with your brain, with your thoughts. Calm your emotions with the breath, with that peaceful breath. The more you fall forward, the more you're going to be squishing at your stomach, right? That's good. That's really good for the internal organs, for your colon, for your intestines. So good if you're getting squished. You're welcome. And we're still taking deep belly breaths in spite of the squished abdomen. Stay with it, please. Stay with it. We're going to be here for a few. I want you to walk your sit bones back while you're here. If you can, walk your heels out a little bit. If you can, press the knees down towards your mat a little bit more. If you can, separate your shoulder blades a little bit more. Drop your head more heavily. Allow the blades to separate your shoulder blades. And now when you breathe out, press a little deeper into that stretch. Get a really good lower back opener here. It's lower back, it's middle back, it's upper back, it's hamstring. It's everything in the back of the body that's stretching. And activate your strong abdominal muscles. Roll yourself up from there. Take your time, take your time. And then we're going to point these toes, more the balls of the feet than the toes. Don't hyper point them. And then get your fingertips pointing towards your buttocks and just squeeze the shoulder blades together now. In forward bend, we separated them, and in we're gonna do incline plank. So in incline plank, we're squeezing them together. I like to walk my butt out a little bit more and just lift those hips. Back body strengthener. Lifting the heart, the chest, using the hamstrings, the buttocks, the lower back, the middle back, the upper back, the shoulder blades pressing up, 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 up. And the toes work themselves down. At least the balls of the feet do. And we'll lower all of that and return to your forward bend once again. Get a good deep stretch again. Use the next 2 or 3 exhales to take you deeper into the stretch. When you breathe all the breath out of the belly, you can get a little bit deeper. Of course, breathing in, you'll have to come up a tiny bit maybe. But on that exhale, go even deeper if your body lets you. And then roll on up. It's easy to see how a person could veg out in some of these poses, but it's important to remain active in all of them. Actively aware. So we're coming back to incline plank again. Get your palms flat on the floor, fingertips pointing towards your buttocks. Hey, and some of us don't come up off the ground when we do this. So you're just squeezing the shoulder blades. Even if your hips don't lift up off of your mat, you're still tightening the buttocks. You're still tightening the hamstrings. You're still using the muscles of the lower back. And over time, it might be that the hips float up. So yes, actively squeezing everything, noticing your thoughts. Remembering that peace is coming in on every inhale and floating out into the universe on every exhale, coming from you. You are the creator of your peace in your life and in the world, in your world. Forward bend again, opening up. And then using those strong muscles to bring yourself up. And we're gonna bend these legs and come into your variation of boat pose. Okay, very much core strengthener. Your variation of boat pose. Maybe your feet stay on the floor, maybe they rise up, maybe your legs straighten out, maybe your arms come up, doesn't matter to me, but make sure that you're comfortably uncomfortable, okay? So we're gonna go from boat pose, anchor all fours, both feet, both hands, into table pose. Again, squeezing those shoulder blades together, back of the body is working. Doesn't that feel great? And lower this down. Come back into boat pose again, please. Whatever one you like. Whatever one you like. They're all good. They're all good. As long as you're activating your core, as long as you can really feel like, oh yeah, my stomach and my back are working equal, like 2 slices of bread on a sandwich. Both sides of the sandwich, both slices of bread work equally. Same with the front and the back body. Slices of bread. So here's our yoga sandwich. So whatever works for you. You got your boat pose, and then we got table pose. Good. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Lift the hips. Use everything in the back of the body to hold you strong. And now we're gonna lower down and butterfly those legs. Takes the bottoms of the feet together. Loosen up through the hips, through the knees. Great job, everybody. You're awesome. And then if you can, bring your torso down closer towards the floor. Stay here. And again, it's really easy to veg up, like, okay, I'm here, yeah, now what? Okay, whatever. No. Press the knees down. Really feel that activation going on here. The knees are actively pressing down, even without me putting my hands on them, which I'm not gonna do, but you could if you wanted to, but you don't have to. So they're not just up here like all loose and floppy, they're pressing down, pressing down. And when I come forward, I'm not just vegging out here, I'm bringing my chest up, pressing my chest. Although when you get here, you could maybe use your elbows now to press the legs down. So the legs are pressing, the chest is pressing. Aware, maintain your inner awareness. Physically, what's happening? Are you vegging out? Are you being lazy? Are you pushing too hard? Are you too hard on yourself? Are you judging yourself? these are things for us to notice, right? Just to become more aware, our self-awareness. That's what yoga is really important for, is to increase our self-awareness, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And then we're just gonna take these legs and open them up. Open them up, get a nice wide stance here. And the legs will be straight. So if your legs are bent, then maybe you've just kind of taken them too far. So just bring them in a little bit until those legs can be straight. So you find out where you can be with 2 straight legs. And then I'm going to encourage you to just scooch forward a tiny little bit if you can. And we're gonna stay here and breathe for a moment. Breathe out whatever it is that you've become aware of in your practice, in your silence, in your increasing your self-awareness. Notice the knees, the hips, the feet, the face, the shoulders, the brain. Most of what holds us back begins in the brain. Taking your time, coming forward, deepening the stretch. You don't have to go as quickly as me. You can certainly go more slowly. And obviously you're gonna stop yourself where part of your body is like, halt, that's it, I can't take it anymore. None of this should be painful. We're not grinning and bearing anything. We're aware. So come to find your edge, and there'll be a few perhaps along the way. Breathe peacefulness into the part of the body that stopped you here. And just say, please relax, it's okay. It's safe to let go. And then once that gives up a little bit of its tightness, perhaps you can go more forward, but maybe not. You'll find a new edge and you'll do the same thing there. Relax, peacefulness to the body, peacefulness to the joints, to the limbs, to the muscles. And then maybe you can go forward. That's wonderful. Come up from there. Beautiful work, beautiful work. And then just slide your one hand down that leg. It doesn't matter which one, right or left, it doesn't matter. The opposite arm's coming up though. And you're gonna just slide down, 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 down until you can reach something. If you can get that big toe, then hook it. We're gonna inhale here and exhale, bend the elbow a little bit. And then inhale, and then exhale. This arm that's up is staying exuberant. But the one on the bottom, every time you exhale, it bends a little bit. And then as the elbow bends more and more and it starts to touch your leg, bring it to the inside of the knee and take the shoulder and the side of your rib cage back. So once you're to where you think, okay, this is the place where it's right for me to be today, you're gonna stay there and put more energy into this arm, lengthening out. Put more energy into both of those legs, lengthening out. Put more energy into taking the shoulder and the ribs back. And you could gaze upward or forward or downward. Do the one that feels best for your neck. Yes. And we're not vegging out because we got a lot going on. We're radiating wonderful energy in lots of directions. From your heart, spiral your heart upward and open. And we're coming up. And we'll do the same thing to the other side. And this hand might not go as far down into this other leg or foot or whatever. But the arm up here is definitely up if you can. And so, wherever you are, we're gonna inhale, keep this arm straight up in the air, but the other elbow bends a little bit. Inhale, it comes up, and then maybe it bends a little more. And just do that a few times until you can say, okay, this is where I'm gonna work it. So just find the area where you're gonna work it. Remember, the elbow bends to the inside of the knee as best you can. Because once it's on the inside of the knee, quite honestly, we can use it to leverage ourselves to send that shoulder back. Send the side of the ribs back. And now both legs, put energy in them. Press those heels as far away from the body as you can. Take these fingers as high up to the ceiling as you can. Take that left, or yeah, whatever, the top shoulder back as far as you can. And the ribs as well. Stay here breathing. And back to center. And we're gonna bring those feet back together again. Shake them out, move them all around. Good, good, good. And sit cross-legged for a moment, and then just get into the lower back. Do some of this lower back spiraling. The shoulders stay down. So I'm saying lower back. I want you to feel that in your lower back. And keep feeling it in your lower back while you bring your awareness to the ribs now, making these circles even larger. Drop the shoulders down. Keep that going and incorporate your chin and your neck. Reach out. So now these circles are getting even larger. When you go back, tuck the chin. Keep doing it, only slow it down now. And when you go forward, breathe in. Reach the chin, stretch, and inhale simultaneously. Going back, tuck the chin. Breathe out. Bringing the body and the mind together using the breath. And then when you're back center, stay center, and we're going to reverse direction. And again, just start in the lower back, and these can be a little quicker, the lower back ones. Good. And then to the ribs, get those ribs involved. The circles are getting a little larger, the shoulders drop down. Good. And now the chin and the neck starts working. These circles are really large now. And we'll slow it down. A full inhale as the chin goes forward and you reach forward, and a complete exhale as the chin tucks and you stretch back. Notice what you notice along the way, physically and non-physically. Just notice, increasing our self-awareness without judgment, without criticism. Just observe. Very nice. And then come to lie on your back. Lying on your back, lift the heels close to the buttocks, lift up into a bridge, bring your butt up off the ground. Don't go too high. And then lower it down. Bring the heels closer to the buttocks if your body permits that, and then lift the hips up a little higher this time. And lower down. And then come up onto the toes, bringing those heels in even more. And then lift up even higher if your back gives you the permission to do this. So much so, walk your shoulders down, walk them down, go ahead. So much so that the chin is pressing to the chest. And you can watch the rising and the falling of the belly with each breath. Peace coming in. Peace flowing out. And roll back down vertebrae by vertebrae, mindfully, consciously, self-aware. And we'll hug those knees into the chest. And again, if you like to rock, I'm a movement-oriented person. I enjoy rocking. And we'll take one leg out and one leg up and just get a nice little stretch here. Both legs are straight, so here's another one. It's so easy to just veg out here and be like, la, la, la. No, don't do it. Get this leg on the floor and stretch it out. And this one you're holding on to, lengthen it up. And you don't have to hold at your ankle. Maybe you're holding here. But try to get the bend out of your knee. And if the knee stays bent, that's fine. Just press the heel away from the body, even as the knee is bent. Still press the heel away. So wherever that is for you, make it your own, but don't forget about this leg on the floor. Don't forget about that guy. And switch sides. So the leg that's on the ground, that knee is pressing down towards the floor. The one up in the air, this heel is pressing up, or the toes, or however you want to do your foot. Try to relax your foot, quite honestly. opening ourselves without tension, without stress. Not at all, because we're breathing in peace, right? No stress at all. And then come on into a happy baby pose, and most definitely rock from side to side on this one because it's really good for your adrenal glands. It's really good to calm down the nervous system and to decrease the cortisol production. It's really good for your kidneys. Nice. And then just rest those feet flat on the floor for Shavasana, or straighten your legs out on the floor for Shavasana, whatever you prefer. Palms turned up. Saying to the universe, I'm open to more peace in my life. Fancy that. And bringing your awareness to the breath, easily now. No forceful breaths. Easy, natural breathing, and you'll notice that just naturally your belly rises and falls. Every breath is peace. Stay there, stay there. Every breath is peace. If you're real observant, you'll notice that your muscles feel peaceful, that your joints feel relaxed, that your mind is calm. You might even be able to notice your skin feels peaceful and relaxed. Your jaw, your eyeballs, your forehead, your brain, your mind. Beginning to wiggle your fingers and toes. Doing so in a peaceful manner. Stay present with that peaceful movement, gentle, loving, simple little movements of wiggling the fingers and toes. Stay there, stay present with that. Notice how you can have a peaceful mind as you move your body. And then bring your knees into the chest and stay present with that motion, with the knees hugging in. Peacefulness. Yoga is the science of life. Don't be so quick to get on to the next thing or consider all the other things that have to happen or we think we need to do. Stay present. Even as we move our bodies in yoga and in life, we can maintain peacefulness of mind and body. We don't have to be stressed as we do our tasks. Every breath is a breath of peace. Maybe rock on your spine or roll to one side and linger in your presence, in your awareness of your inner peace. And therefore creating outer peace, peace in the world around you, in your space, in your home, in your community, in your family. Bringing yourself back up into a seated position whenever you're ready, and you certainly don't have to. You can linger there where you are as long as you like. And I just want to wish you peace, love, and light with all that you do. Thank you so much for being here. You're awesome. You rock. You're an amazing human. Peace, love, light. Namaste.